All right, Nathan. So remember when we did the Halloween episode last time? So I had some leftover candy, and
Oh,
I
you got any more of those Mars bars, bro?
Fuck
I can't
yeah,
get
I
enough
do.
of those.
There you go,
Love
man.
Mars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think?
Whoa, what?
What?
What is in here? This paper says Michael Mann on it.
And that's the episode we're gonna cover today, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Mann's filmography. Huh?
You're losing your mind.
Look, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I figured.
So there's no chocolate?
No.
That's a sick fucking prank.
Whatever, man.
Roll the episode. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 109. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
And today we are going to be discussing the filmography of legendary director Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
You and I saw, when we were watching Killers of the Flower Moon,
Yep.
we saw the Ferrari trailer in theater.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Man, that shit was hitting hard, bro.
Yeah.
That trailer looks so good.
Yeah.
Adam Driver's Enzo Ferrari looks so good.
I mean, like you can't go wrong.
It really looks like it's a home run. Like it's a lob, a home run ball for Michael Mann here. I think it's going to be a great film.
It is kind of crazy how like we saw that and then we saw the Napoleon trailer. It's like all these biopics from these classic directors. Like, when are we ever gonna get like a season where Scorsese, Michael Mann, Ridley Scott, and fucking David Fincher have a new film releasing in that span?
It's like the 90s or the 80s and 90s are back.
90s,
It's
man.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really special, and I think we'll look back on 2023 as like a very special year in film in the future.
I mean, like, it does feel like the last huzzah for these generation of filmmakers, but I hope they keep making some more, you know? But we're going to be talking about Michael Mann from his most iconic first film, I would say, was Thief,
Yep.
to the newest film, Ferrari, and, like, what we are excited about, what films we've seen from him,
Yeah.
our favorites from him, and, you know, just overall, like, an interesting discussion on this guy, because he doesn't get talked about as much as, like, obviously Scorsese. Yeah.
and yeah, I wouldn't say he gets talked about as much, but
Yeah.
man, his filmography's got some classics.
Absolutely.
And he's like one of those old school like directors that like just knows how to do action sequences like almost nobody else.
Yeah.
Like using the way he uses score in his films is like incredible.
That's another thing too.
That's like one
man.
of the most distinct things when I think Michael Mann. I think about his scores.
The first film that really caught my eye when it comes to soundtracks within his films is Thief. 'Cause I
Oh,
feel like
Thief
that's
has
what
a-
Tangerine Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tangerine Dream is great. Risky Business. Wow, man, that
And I read that he originally was going to use like some Chicago blues, something more subtle,
really.
but then chose to use Tangerine Dreams, and that's a fucking fantastic choice.
It's
And
awesome.
It's the music is insane in that movie.
Yeah.
and adds this like excitement and tension to those scenes where he's cracking the safe. And,
Yeah.
and off rip, you get this first scene where you're watching James Caan crack the safe
Yeah.
like it's his regular 9-to-5 job, and this epic music is playing over it, and you're like, oh, I'm in for a fucking ride here.
Yeah. I think it's also because of the fact that a lot of these characters that Michael Mann directs, like, I'm looking at James Caan's character in Thief, and it's just like, yeah, he's not a good guy.
No.
Fucking, I always think about that speech he has with the woman in the car. It's just like, I'm wearing a fucking rich ass suit. I got $1 million wife,
Yeah.
slacks and stuff. You think I'm a fucking this, that? No, man, I'm a thief or whatever. Or like, you know what I mean? Like that great fucking
Of course,
speech.
yeah.
I don't know. There's so many moments in the movie that has those like those intense scenes. Like at the very end when he's like with the gun, like he's like trying to look for the guy, he's killing out and stuff. And it's not like over dramatic at the end. Like
No.
he just walks
But
away.
you do get an epic climax, like
Yeah.
an epic shootout.
Yeah.
Right? And it's everything you want in an 80s movie. It's
Yeah.
like it's the 80s movie. The score, I mean, James Caan is still so good.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing.
Yeah, he never got overshadowed by Godfather, which a lot of actors did in
Yeah.
that film. Because of the fact that he was picking roles like that.
Yeah.
He was in The Gambler, he was in Thief, he was in a ton of these amazing films because he wanted to challenge himself. He didn't just want to play the same fucking character over and over again, which I feel like Michael
And
Mann, yeah.
Michael Mann did challenge him here.
Yep.
He actually learned how to crack real safes.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. What was the story you were telling me earlier about like him cracking the safe?
James Caan, he's like, yeah, he said he got to learn it so quickly that I think his sister or his mom was just like, do it with our safe, and he did it in like 5 minutes, and they're like, holy shit! And
That's
he's like, yeah,
crazy.
So-
But it shows on screen. It translates the confidence that he's doing when he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Those scenes are so interesting and intricate, and there's almost no dialogue over them ever.
Nope.
Because it's just him. He kind of works by himself.
yeah.
But it's so interesting, and with the music overlaid, I love it. I love it. It's beautiful.
And it's great because of it goes into the patience of the cracking of the safe.
Yes.
It's not just instant, which is another thing to note in every Michael Mann film that deals with a robbery, stealing, anything like that. It's not just like 2 seconds.
It's ultra grounded in reality.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we have to do it at this fucking time, at this day, because of everything working with us. Same shit happened in Heat. Same shit happened in Public Enemies. Like, there's...
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's like he's aware of this because he's doing his fucking research. And that's a thing that most directors should be doing a lot of, is this type of research where it's like, okay, I'm not just going to fucking go blind
Yeah.
with this subject matter.
Michael Mann says he seeked out real thieves to talk to and let James Caan talk to and break down how this would be done, and what you see on screen is kind of how it would go if somebody was robbing, if somebody was cracking a safe and being a thief like James Caan. And it really shows, man. That movie is just like such a good character study with these ultra realistic scenes.
Another thing to note in his later filmography that reflected within Thief, is that you get that nice color tone from Thief, that nice blue color tone that I feel like I was talking to my buddy Don about it actually with Heat, because he was talking about how like he felt that Heat was like, I don't know, it seems like every action film. I'm like, no, every action film copied Heat. That's how good. That's how fucking good it is.
I felt that way the first time I watched Heat. I was
Yeah.
like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And then you look at the year and you kind of just realize that films copied Heat.
Yeah.
This was the first one.
Yeah.
And stylistically, it's way better than all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's because of the fact that it wasn't bullshitting around. It wasn't doing like fake gun noises and stuff. It's like, no, it's real. We fucking put our work into this. And it's like you watch Thief, you watch Manhunter, like you see a lot of those films and the aesthetic, and they're almost like somewhat prototypes to what you get from Heat. And
Yeah.
it's like it's such an interesting outlook of like Michael Mann like learning from each film, and in a way like maturing and trying to figure out new ways of showcasing these types of shots and choreography, which I fucking love, because you get amazing actors putting in everything,
Yeah.
you know? So
I think Thief is maybe the only 80s Michael Mann film I've seen. I wanted to see Manhunter.
Same.
That's one that's on my list for sure. I did not see that one. But I know in the 80s, I think he also executive produced Miami Vice, the TV show.
Yes, he was big involved in it. I thought he created the show, to be
Or
honest
maybe
with you.
created the show,
Yeah.
and I think was executive producer as it was going on. He never
Yeah.
directed the episodes,
No.
but he said in interviews that he was essentially acting as executive director.
Which I mean, like when you hear Miami Vice, and it's just like that aesthetic.
But
Michael Mann is like, yeah.
I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yeah.
You see it on screen. That show was like the first to like put film style,
Yeah.
film aesthetic, film action into a TV show.
Yeah.
And I saw this funny interview of Michael Mann, and he was kind of saying, he was like, yeah, I guess like people praise it for being the first to do that, but it was like there wasn't much competition on TV at the time. He was like, I was competing with Dukes of Hazzard,
Yeah.
and shit like that, right? So, but man, stylistically, Miami Vice is a beautiful show.
Oh yeah.
And is shot like a film, and episodes were shot in 7 days.
Dude, that's fucking nuts, man.
Like-
It shot in 7 days.
Yeah.
A fucking week they got to do that.
It's unbelievable.
No, that's impressive.
And that's a young Michael Mann, not the Michael Mann with 30 years of experience,
Right.
or 50 years of experience at this point. I mean, like that's a young Michael Mann, problem solving and honestly changing television going forward, television got much more cinematic.
If Miami Vice did not exist, the fucking GTA games would
That's
not be.
100% true.
I'm just saying. Because everyone talks about it. It's like, yo, when's the GTA movie coming out? It's like, yeah, it's called Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Fucking watch that movie. It came out already. Colin Farrell.
You're 100% right.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah. It's so I don't know. It's like the aesthetic was already there and the game was just taking influence of it. And it's a big fucking deal. People know that aesthetic. People know that 80s, like, yeah, I'm a fucking like detective private investigator, but I don't take shit from no one. That type of mentality, that aesthetic came from that show.
Oh yeah. And then the 90s is really where this is Michael Mann in his absolute prime for me.
Yeah.
He starts the 90s with Last of the Mohicans. That's a fantastic film. That's my mom's favorite film of all time.
Nice. I think you talked about that.
I've always had that on DVD at home. That's my mom's favorite film. She cries at the end. She loves that movie. And for good reason. It's a good one.
Yeah. Daniel Day-Lewis is great in it.
Yes. An early Daniel Day-Lewis role.
Yeah.
But you see the signs of him getting lost in characters even here.
Right. I feel like it's a weird turn for Michael Mann because of the subject matter. But again,
100% is.
Again, he does his fucking research and he knows how to like illustrate this story and this character. So
the
it's
sets are beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just so intricate. So many extras and that's wild. It's a visually beautiful film.
Really, really solid film.
And a good story, like a heart-wrenching story.
Absolutely.
And then 1992 is Last of the Mohicans, and in 1995, Pacino, De Niro, Heat.
What can we say about Heat that hasn't already been said? It's like talking about Godfather. It's like talking about Scarface. It's like talking about these great films that like universally people agree are like well-made, well-told stories. I will always think of that last shot with Pacino standing and De Niro dead at the airport with that beautiful music.
It's fantastic.
You can't, I mean, like, that's like cinema.
Like
that's cinema.
And
guys.
like the scene where they're talking in the restaurant.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like,
iconic.
How many times have I watched that scene over? Like, so many. Like, it's the most rewatchable. It's one of the most rewatchable scenes in film.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, it's chess from two high-level actors.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. I think this is the first time they appear on screen together.
I think so, yeah.
And it does not disappoint.
Right. Because of the fact that, like, they both know what they're doing. Just
and the film knows it, you know? Like, they keep them separate for the beginning, and then you get this payoff. It's like, the first time they're going to be together in this room, they're going to make it worth it. It's this tense scene. It's the heart of the film, that scene.
Yeah.
And, wow, it works to perfection. De Niro's famous speech about if you're not willing to drop it in 30 seconds when the heat's coming, it's like it's fucking.
He says that to Val Kilmer too, man. That's another good scene. Val Kilmer's great in this.
Yeah,
fucking
he
movie.
really is.
Fucking nails it. But like him, like there's so many parts where he looks so broken. He looks so fucking broken, and it's just like the sun rises and sets on with her, man.
Damn.
That's how he responds to De Niro's famous thing, and I don't know, man. It's a long movie too. People are like, "Oh, it's a long movie." It's like, nah, it doesn't feel like a long movie.
No,
it feels like an experience.
It is an experience, and when you get the climax, the shootout, it's incredible. It's
beautiful.
Like, it's the best action's ever been directed. It's amazing work. The score heightens it. It's the best.
That's the weird thing too. I love the John Wick films. Don't get me wrong; they're very well shot. But like that sound, it's good sound mixing. But I don't know. Whenever you see that shot where Val Kilmer pulls out the gun and you hear it, I get goosebumps.
Yeah,
it's quiet. There's no fucking music. It's just the gunshots, people screaming, people yelling, running. It's like it feels real.
Yeah. It does feel real. Everything about it feels real. Even in the beginning when they're doing the heist and they're in the truck talking to each other.
Yes.
Like, it just feels so real. It feels like you're along on this heist with these guys. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
It's great.
It's amazing.
And another film that we saw in the 90s as well, we both saw it recently, was The Insider.
What a run he had in the 90s, bro.
Dude.
Insider is amazing.
It's amazing. And you know what sucks, too? I looked it up. It didn't make money.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
Because I think it was produced by Buena Vista or something like that. It's like a parent company of Disney, and their assumption for the production was, oh, it's really expensive, but don't worry, it's gonna be like All the President's Men.
Yeah.
It's gonna make that type of money. Little did they know that 1999 was the year of Phantom Menace,
Oh,
Sixth
fuck.
Sense.
Everybody was watching Phantom Menace.
A bunch of films were coming out around that time, so unfortunately, Insider box office didn't have a chance. But as a film, it looks beautiful. It's
I mean, like, even, like, you get the De Niro, Pacino, and Heat,
yeah.
but Pacino and Russell Crowe is almost just as good, man. You get some great scenes between the two of them.
Him on the phone at the
Oh my
beach.
God.
He's like, pick up the fucking phone. And
You
then
tell him. Yeah, I love
you
that.
tell him to pick up the fucking phone. He's like, you want me to say that? Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it cuts to a scene where Russell Crowe is thinking about his family, and the way you could shoot that scene is so typical. You just cut to a flashback. But no, they do that green screen effect and they move that camera while that epic music is playing. And I'm like, bro, this movie's about the tobacco industry.
Yeah. The music is like
Beautiful.
heist music
Oh.
at times. But it's about Al Pacino plays a 60 Minutes producer
Yes.
who is trying to get this story from Russell Crowe, who's a former scientist
Yes.
for the tobacco industry, and has this information of cigarettes are much worse than you actually know.
Yes.
But I've signed all these NDAs, and these people will fucking kill me if I speak.
Yeah.
So that's the premise of this movie, and they're going back and forth. And wow, they share some amazing scenes together. I think for 1999, this is one of Pacino's best roles in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's people make fun of Pacino in the 90s and the
Ooh-ah,
and the over the top. And I think he has a very nuanced, subtle performance here.
Yeah.
He gets upset. He does the screaming, the famous Pacino screaming,
Yeah.
very few times, like that beach scene.
Exactly.
And it feels warranted in those
Yes,
scenes.
absolutely.
You know, it's not like she's got a great ass.
Yeah. It's not he. You got your head all the way up it. Like, okay, we get it. We get it, Pacino. You're on coke.
Yeah, honestly, Insider is like it's a film that people almost never talk about. It's a
Yeah.
film that wasn't on my radar until very recently, and it's really good. It's like a really solid Michael Mann film. I think it's one of the best of his filmography, and needs to be talked about more.
Absolutely. It also goes into something that a lot of directors and artists can relate to, which is basically getting censored
Yeah,
for speaking the truth and speaking what you want to speak. And especially when it comes to like this, I can't blame Michael Mann for directing it. You know, he's a filmmaker that, you know, one of the films you looked at is The Keep. That film got butchered in editing. That was supposed to be a 3-hour epic, and it became a 90-minute film. It has never been released a director's cut before.
Oh,
so he
God.
knows what it feels like to
Right.
get fucked over
Right.
by the bigger, the higher up. So when he deals with something like, what is this, CBS?
yeah.
CBS wants to censor. It's like, yeah, we don't actually want Russell Crowe. Pacino's like, so you just don't want the fucking interview then?
So
Is that what you're saying? And then Christopher Plummer, who plays Mike Wallace, he's so fucking good at it. He plays
Yeah.
like that. Oh my God, him. There's another guy, Bruce McGill, I
Yeah.
believe his name is. He's the one who's like the lawyer to Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
He has that. He most of those scenes he's pretty solid in, but that one scene where he's like, wipe that smile off your face, and he's like yelling at the guy. I'm like, holy fuck, man.
I know.
You almost forget like great acting is right in your face and it just hits you and it's like
I also
yes.
love the introduction of this film. You get introduced with like Al Pacino like almost getting fucking kidnapped essentially.
Oh yeah, that was like I always didn't know what was going on.
And then you're
there.
like, wait, is this like a film about like the Taliban? And then
Yeah.
it's like switches to the tobacco industry.
Yeah.
But it's a way to like introduce the stakes of like how high level 60 Minutes reporting is.
Yes.
And what a job like being a producer on 60 Minutes entails.
Yeah.
Him having a fucking bag over his head
Yeah.
to go try and get an interview.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think is pretty incredible and really gives a lot to his character. Man, this movie's so good. It's underrated as fuck.
It's a great one and it continues in the 2000s. A lot of people post The Insider, I would say from a critical standpoint, I noticed that there's some mixed reception.
Yeah.
Aside from Collateral, which Collateral is, I would say a good majority of people love that film. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx film. But then you get films like that got mixed reviews, like Ali, Public
Personally,
Enemies.
personally, I love Ali.
Yeah.
It's a great biopic for me. It's one of Will Smith's best performances. I've always kind of been fascinated with Muhammad Ali. I've read one of his,
Right.
like a book about him. Like
Nice.
I think his story as like the greatest boxer of all time and also an activist
Yeah.
is really interesting, and it's touched on extremely well there. Like the run he had, Last of the Mohicans,
Yeah.
Heat. Then we go to The Insider.
Yep.
Then we go to Ali in 2001. Like
Yeah.
those are all hits, no misses for me personally. Then it's Collateral.
Collateral,
We're
yeah.
still at all hits, no misses for me. Then it's like Miami Vice in 2006.
That's what I mean. But because I think Miami Vice and Public Enemies, people were like leaning more towards. Because remember that look of the digital films?
Yes.
Where it's got that blur and stuff like that?
Yes.
Collateral, it works because of the environment.
I agree.
But you get to Public Enemies, like that film's set in the 30s. Why do we. This doesn't look real.
Yeah.
This doesn't look as convincing. You know what I
agree.
mean? And then, like, I've not seen Black Hat, but I feel like that film is like a love it or hate it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of mixed reviews of that film as well. I haven't seen it though.
So with Black Hat, the subject matter is like dealing with like computer hackers and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, I trust Michael Mann in being well versed into doing his research and stuff, but
Same, yeah.
who knows?
He's
Maybe
only proven that he does extreme research.
exactly. So I'm curious. I do want to see that film because that was the film before Ferrari. So you got that 8-year
right.
gap from Michael Mann, which I don't think he's had that large of a gap in his films since. Like about 3-5 years and stuff. But this is like nearly a decade. And you get Ferrari and it's just like, dude, I'm fucking hyped.
I'm so hyped, man. Another reason I love Michael Mann is because he let my boy Jamie Foxx shine. I love Jamie Foxx. I grew up watching the Jamie Foxx Show, the sitcom.
Nice.
It's like one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. I put it up there with Fresh Prince. I think it's that good.
Nice.
And it just hasn't found a home on a streaming platform yet.
No.
And it's like hard to find online, kind of. And I wonder if it's like a right situation, but I feel like the Jamie Foxx Show would be a hit on Netflix.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jamie Foxx has said that he plays Ali's cornerman in Ali, and he said that really saved his career. He was like not getting any auditions. He was in a really bad place in his career at that time.
Wow.
And him getting that role in Ali really saved his career. Then he gets Collateral.
Yeah.
Then he gets Miami Vice, and he's a star in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Again.
That really helped him. If anything, those films helped him get the role of Ray.
Yeah, exactly. And then he did Ray, which he absolutely kills and wins the Oscar for, right?
Exactly. So good on Jamie Foxx, man.
But Ferrari. How excited are we about Ferrari, man?
I've seen the reviews. I haven't read any, but I've seen the reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, because I think they did early screenings, and it's around the 70s, it's around the 60s. But you know what? It's Michael Mann. All right.
Okay,
I've seen directors with like 70s, 60s on Rotten Tomatoes, and guess what? I like it more than movies on 90s.
I think Michael Mann's filmography has a lot of love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And has a lot of mixed opinions. I think like when you talk about a guy like Scorsese, it's like, a lot of films are just universally loved.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Michael Mann films are not universally loved, but have huge cult. I wouldn't say cult. It's Michael Mann. People love these movies, but have huge followings. So I'm not putting too much stock into these early reviews.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about it. And like you said, man, we're seeing a Michael Mann film in 2023. And I love the subject matter. I think it's going to be a home run for me personally, at least.
Absolutely, man.
You want to do a couple questions?
Absolutely. I think we've already talked about it, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to ask again. What's your favorite Michael Mann film?
Favorite Michael Mann film has got to be Heat. It's one of the best films of all time. It's probably top 10 film of all time, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
If you could recast Heat with any other two stars, who would you pick?
Oh, what?
You can't do Pacino and De Niro.
I can't do Pacino and De Niro, but two actors
Of any era.
of any era. Oh, that's good. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think of like specific actors that like, if we want to talk like golden age stars, I would probably say like, what's a really good one? You know what? Fuck it. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Willem Dafoe.
Whoa, Willem Dafoe would be sick.
Yeah.
like
Willem
that.
Dafoe would be the De Niro role, and Philip Seymour Hoffman would be the Pacino role. I don't know why. I think of those two actors.
I like it. I like that casting a lot.
Okay. I'm doing another one. Thief versus Collateral. Which is the better movie?
Man, I like personally to me, Collateral is the more rewatchable. I love Jimmy Fox. I love Tom Cruise. It's one that I watched when I was young. I have some nostalgia for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Collateral is great, but Thief's a masterpiece as well.
Hell yeah, man. Oh, you got another question for me, and then we can end off with the 2 questions.
I'm gonna do this. What was your most underrated Michael Mann movie?
Most underrated.
Yeah, what do you think is one that gets skipped over in his filmography?
I think the one that we saw.
It's Insider, right?
Yeah, because that's with the production value and everything like that. They both end with Pacino's back. Did you notice
right.
That?
Yes.
Isn't that fucking weird? Yes. But it works, man. It fucking works.
For me, it's Insider or it's Ali.
Ali. Both films flopped.
Yeah,
at the box office.
It's
a
real shame because Will Smith was a star in 2001. I don't know how he didn't carry that film to a box office success, but
I think it's just timing.
Yeah, it always is timing. Like you said, Phantom Menace coming out in '99. Yeah, it's when the movie releases, right? There was a lot of big movies coming out in that era.
No, exactly. God damn. Okay. What's the best actor that's worked with Michael Mann? What would you say?
The best actor that's worked with, like the best performance in a Michael Mann film?
Yeah.
I would say, man, I really, really like James Caan in Thief.
Yeah, man.
But I gotta say it's Pacino. It's Pacino and De Niro. It's a co-award for Heat.
Co-award for Heat.
To me, like that's some of the best acting I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like truthfully, some of the best acting I've ever seen. In that movie, so it's
Wait
hard
a
not
minute.
to say that.
I gotta ask you now: if you could recast Heat with any 2 actors, who would you pick? Because you fucking asked me, I want to know your picks now.
Jamie Foxx.
All right, Jamie Foxx. Who's Jamie Foxx and who's he gonna play?
Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx is the thief.
De Niro.
He's De Niro.
Oh, okay. Who's Pacino, man?
Pacino.
Yeah, man.
Pacino is DiCaprio.
Whoa. Okay.
That's an interesting one. I don't know if it works, but it works in my head.
I could see like a Departed performance from Pacino. I mean, DiCaprio. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. You know what? I got another one.
Oh, go for it, man. I love this, man. What the fuck?
The Thief.
Yeah, De Niro's character.
De Niro's character. I'm gonna go Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson.
We're going a little older.
We're going a little older.
Okay.
But it's a younger Jack because it's from any era, right?
No, we're talking 1970s.
So, yeah, we're talking a 70s Jack. Like after Chinatown, he does
after
this film.
Chinatown. Okay. I like that. And who would Pacino's?
And Pacino's character, I would love to see Pacino and Leo. So I'm going to keep Leo. Or sorry, I'm getting everything confused. Jack.
Yes.
And Leo.
Jack and Leo. So
I would
want
love,
like a Departed reunion.
I want a Departed reunion, but younger Jack. Like imagine that. The charisma of a younger Jack and a younger Leo in their primes. I feel like it would be a nice back and forth.
Yeah, I was thinking if it was like 1970s though, it'd be like Jack Nicholson and Robert Redford.
Oh, right, for sure. If it's 70s, yeah. I'm kind of casting off. I'm pulling people from different eras.
No, fair
enough.
This
is a dream scenario.
Fair enough. I like these questions. I like them.
That's fun. Okay,
but, yeah.
We'll end it off there. Let us know if you're excited for Ferrari, because we are. We'll be there, and there will be a review here on the Real Talk podcast.
Fucking hey.
You better believe that. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace.